How many times have you had the impression of living in a reality that hides something from you, that everything around you is an illusion, like a daydream? Simulation theory is an intriguing and debated concept that suggests that the universe and reality we live in could be simulated by some form of advanced technology or superior intelligence, for reasons unknown to us. This idea has been explored in science fiction, such as in the famous film The Matrix, but it has also been taken into serious consideration by famous personalities such as Elon Musk or by scientists such as Neil deGrasse Tyson and philosophers such as Nick Bostrom, supporter of the thesis according to which the probabilities the human species living within a simulated reality would be very relevant from a probabilistic point of view. Nick Bostrom, Swedish philosopher, suggests that at least one of the following statements is probably true. 1. Advanced civilizations do not specialize in running simulations of their ancestors. 2. No advanced civilization is capable of running simulations of this type. 3. We are almost certainly living in a simulation. Let's analyze these three statements in detail. First, advanced civilizations are not specialized in running simulations of their ancestors. This point suggests that, although advanced civilizations have achieved the technological ability to create simulations of universes similar to their own, they may choose not to do so. This could be due to multiple reasons, such as lack of interest in doing so or attraction to explore other areas of knowledge, or even due to ethical dilemmas. Second, no advanced civilization is capable of running simulations of this kind. This point hypothesizes that, while advanced civilizations might be interested in running simulations of their ancestors, they may simply not have the technological capacity or energy resources necessary to do so. This may be due to physical limitations or limitations in understanding science and technology. But consider our current technological development. We are already using video games, virtual reality, metaverses, and more. It doesn't take much to imagine what we will be able to do in a few years or decades, for example thanks to quantum computers which are still in full development. Finally, the last one, we are almost certainly living in a simulation. If advanced civilizations have the ability to run simulations of universes similar to ours, and if they decide to run a significant number of these simulations, then it is indeed much more likely that we are living in a simulation rather than in a real universe. This is because, according to Bostrom, the number of potential simulations would far exceed the number of real universes, so it would be more likely that we are in one of these simulations. And what about ancient religions such as Buddhism, which have always maintained that the material reality that surrounds us is a pure illusion and that it is possible to overcome it only thanks to meditation? But what is true in all this? If we think about the complexity of the functioning mechanisms of our universe around us and its mysterious creation from the fluctuations of a quantum foam, we cannot avoid talking about the mysterious number 1 divided by 137, known as the fine structure constant. That is the number that physicists use to measure the intensity of the electromagnetic force, one of the 4 fundamental forces, which holds the atoms of our reality together. The famous physicist Richard Feynman was obsessed with it, calling it a number that seems to have been written by the hand of God and currently remains without any explanation we understand. In fact, a different value of this constant, even just slightly different by 10 to 20%, would have prevented the entire universe from holding together and presenting itself in the reality that we all perceive today. Thinking with hindsight, with our current IT knowledge, it would almost seem that someone had intentionally set some initial parameters to then start a complex simulation computer program on some incredible supercomputer, perhaps a large one like a planet. But why? For what purpose? Some scientists have speculated that the speed of light limit could be a further clue that we are living in a simulation. If there is a huge computer that is processing the simulation, it may have a limit to the space it can process per unit of time, and this limit may be 300,000 kilometers per second, or the speed of light. Other researchers have also speculated that the singularity of human consciousness could be further evidence of the simulation theory. In our reality, the phenomenon of human consciousness raises many questions. It would seem not to appear useful for exclusively evolutionary purposes. No mammal in the world, not even the largest predators, are equipped with a consciousness comparable to that of humans, and part of the scientific community is still investigating beyond the simplistic explanations of natural selection to understand what could have justified the enormous evolutionary energy expenditure of such a complex and unique mechanism. Some scientists have hypothesized that our consciousness could be a sort of viewer to provide someone elsewhere a rich and complete experience of highly evolved gaming. The more we delve into the study of quantum mechanics, the more we discover incredible things. For example, that at the quantum level, our observation influences the state of what we observe, and therefore, simplifying a lot, we could almost say that at the quantum level something exists only if we observe it. All this is undoubtedly reminiscent of the operating mechanisms of modern video games, in which to save resources, only what is presented directly in front of the observer is graphically rendered. What if the mechanisms of quantum physics were the proof we were looking for to prove that we are all living in a simulation? But what could be the purpose of the simulation? A huge video game from some teenage alien? Or perhaps an incredible experiment in which some of our peculiarities, such as ingenuity, human creativity, culture, and art, or our complex feelings, are analyzed and cultivated, and from which to draw ideas? Unfortunately, we cannot know, even if part of the scientific community is trying experiments and studying the matter with ever greater interest. No one has yet managed to discover the truth, and it will be rather difficult to arrive at an answer, at least with our current level of technological knowledge. But among all the theoretical speculations, one question keeps coming to mind: if it were all true, what would happen if someone decided to turn off the simulation? Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and activate notifications to stay updated on new videos.